Hello, my name is Jennifer Bone, and I'm the full-time SWIC librarian at the Belleville Campus Library. It's myself and another librarian, Samantha Rogers, who run the library on the Belleville campus, and we're always here to help you. Today, I wanted to talk about PTA research and what you need to do to find some credible sources to help you with some of your assignments, and as you go further in your profession, how you can find those credible sources throughout your career. So we'll go to the next slide. Now these slides are going to be ones that I share with you, and you can always go back to this recording to figure out where to go and where you need to click. Why is providing quality contemporary information important? Just so that your patients and you know what is good and high quality out there. I gave you some examples of some medical websites to evaluate. The first one we have here is LASIK at Home. Now LASIK is that eye procedure where you laser your eyes so you don't have to wear glasses anymore. So this is an interesting website right here, and you're welcome to click on it and see how it works. When you go to the website, it looks like this. It's affordable in-home LASIK surgery you can do yourself. You'll see that there is a doctor with his name and his educational degrees listed below, and that there are tabs that go across the top where you can see how you can do it at home. To actually perform it, you don't even need to be able to read. Just follow the pictures. And you'll see that there are testimonials and even an order now button. So it just costs $100. You can get the hat, the mug, and the t-shirt to go with it. And there's the power shot of the doctor. Now what's tricky about this is I always bring it up, like if I would be telling my mom I wanted to get LASIK, she really likes to help me save money. So she might say, oh, I was Googling around and I found this LASIK at Home website. It's so much more affordable and there's a nice doctor who will sell you something. So these are things that your patients might come across, that you might come across, and you should always have a critical eye to say, is this true? You know, who is this guy? And I always find it interesting that the doctor that they chose to put here, he is wearing glasses, so he's going to laser your eyes, but he won't laser his own. So just so you know, this is a fake website that was put together. It is not a credible website. They do not actually sell this. It's kind of just put together to see that there are professional websites out there that look like they are legit, and it's totally not. So just wanted to make you aware that they're out there for you to find. They'll be out there for your clients and patients to find. So just know that those can sneak up on you. So if we close this, there is another one. I put this one up for dihydrogen monoxide research division, and that's just a fancy name for water. So here's another website. It's definitely built in the late 90s, early 2000s, but it's kind of a fake website about, look at all this research, when actually it's not needed either. So just keep that in mind, that those things are going to be out there, and this is why we're kind of trying to show you the good places to go for research versus Googling. The next point is to Google or not to Google. Your patients will be Googling, that's what they do, and there is a big difference when you Google maybe what the layman's term for what their issue might be, their medical issue, or maybe if you would Google exactly what they were kind of looking at. So if they would Google runner's knee, they would come across these results. And you'll see a lot of them are coming up from .coms. Like right here, you'll see it's a webmd.com, which we know we have a little bit of faith in that. There's a .org, but some of them are coming from Runner's World, medium.com, and things like that. So they're not reputable medical places where you might look for information. If we go back to our slide and you actually do a search for patellofemoral pain syndrome, you're going to get much nerdier kind of results that come up on your list. So just know that when your patients Google and when you Google, you might get different things, and you're being taken to the Mayo Clinic, which is a very much more reputable source than some of the others that were coming up from the .com. So just keep that in mind, that you will be Googling different from your patients. If we go to the next slide, I just wanted to quickly look at the anatomy of a web address so that when you do Google, that you kind of know what you're looking at. Initially at the very beginning, you'll see the HTTP. Sometimes there's going to be an HTTPS, which stands for a secure certificate. That little S does. And then you'll see the www dot, and then whatever the organization is, or the school, and then the .org or the .edu. So this www is the World Wide Web, then you get the domain of the website, and then you get the suffix. And that's kind of telling you, is it an organization? Is it an educational institution? Here's just a quick slide that you can refer back to. It kind of discusses the suffixes that you're going to find at the end of a web address. So, and it'll define if it's a military, if it's .gov for government, all those things are right there. And lastly, if they do go to Wikipedia or you go to Wikipedia, they will find an entry on whatever you've given them, because Wikipedia has entries on everything. A Wikipedia entry can be edited. It may or may not be true. But as a professional, I'd like to recommend that you go down to the bottom of the page, and with your professional eye, you'll be able to see if some of the footnotes or the references that are supporting the entry at the top of the page, if they're true or not. So if you looked at patellofemoral pain in Wikipedia, this is going to be their reference section. And you'll see that a lot of these are coming from reputable sources that are out there. I did want to point out that some of these are coming up with DOI numbers and a number right here. Now, that is a fancy number that is giving to a really high level article for research. So if you're ever nosing around in the references section and you see that it has a DOI number, it stands for Digital Object Identifier, and it's just like books get ISBNs. Really fancy, credible research articles get DOI numbers. So just know that that's a good sign that that's a really nerdy article. And a lot of times you can click on those and get taken right to the citation. There's also other identifiers in here. The PMID is a PubMed identifier, or the PMC, which goes to PubMed Central, and those are reputable sources as well. So when you see these numbers starting to appear, you know they're not coming from people's personal blogs, that they are actually coming from research studies that are being out there and published and seen by a lot of professionals. So that's a good sign. So you can always go back to those resources and usually click on them, and sometimes you'll get access to them for free. So just know that the bottom of Wikipedia is not a bad place to go. Alright, so this is just a slide that talks about what Googling is versus research. Research is systematic investigation, and that's what we want you to do. And Googling is just kind of typing in a term and kind of having to filter through what's good, what's not good. It takes a lot more time to kind of Google and kind of critically think about what are the good things that are on your page versus when we can kind of show you exactly where to start your research. And then how to Google for quality research. There is an article that I have linked here, 10 questions to distinguish real from fake science, and it's just good questions about asking who the author is. So you'll see all these things coming up, and they'll give you questions. What is the source? What is the agenda? What kind of language does it use? Does it involve testimonials? Are there claims of exclusivity? So these are good things to read through just if you want to kind of look on Google and see what's out there. These are good questions to always ask yourself. And then what I did is I Googled this article title just to show you what happened. So I have a title of, this is a professional article that was written. And when I Googled it, it came up looking like this. And I had a lot of links to the same exact article. So let me tell you what I found when I clicked on all of them. It was this page right here. So the first one had a free link to the article, but the link to the free part was very hidden, and only because I was a librarian did I know where to kind of search to find the link to get to the free article. The second link was similar, so I can see that right here they're coming from the same, they're coming from the same source, but they're a little bit different, and this one gave me access to the full text immediately. So it was interesting to see that they're both coming from the National Institute of Health, which is a government website, but the access to the free article was different. This last one here, you'll see that it has, it was $40, and I can see right here it's because it's coming from a .com, and this is a publisher who published this website who's trying to make money. So they're saying if you want access to the article, usually for 24 hours, you need to give us your credit card numbers and $40, when actually you can get free access right up here. And then this last one is the article, and it's going to a place called ResearchGate. To access an article in ResearchGate, you actually have to create a free membership. And then sometimes the article is available, but sometimes it'll say, do you want to ask the author for a copy of this article? And usually the authors don't get back to you and give you access to them at all. So I just wanted to make sure that you're aware that the ResearchGate can be a good place to go. And that's one of the 4 that came up right at the top of the results list. So just know that those are out there, but it can be tricky out there. Now, credible sources for research that you all are going to be looking at are going to be this one called CINAHL Complete and CINAHL Plus with full text, one called PEDRO, PubMed, and the Cochrane Library. And the question is, which one should you use? Let's take a look at how they all work.